key to everything, besides the other courses we were taking, the key to the cinema courses was the teacher, was the professor. And I was very lucky.
Martin Scorsese is a famous Italian-American filmmaker and writer whose films such as Mean Streets and The Wolf of Wall Street changed American movie history. This famous director is widely regarded as one of the most prominent directors of all time and is recognized for his steely filming approach. Martin has spent more than 50 years behind the camera, directing films such as Goodfellas, The Last Waltz, The King of Comedy, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and The Departed. He's the honored president and creator of the Film Foundation and has received several nominations and awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Film Institute, the Academy Award, the Grammy Award, and the Golden Globes Award.
Our generation, when we started making films in the 70s in Los Angeles, were considered young people who had studied.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Martin Charles Scorsese, but is also known as Martin Scorsese. He was born on November 17, 1942 in New York, making him 78 at the time of this production. He stands at 163 centimeters or 5 feet 4 inches tall. According to a complaint filed in April, Scorsese and his wife Helen reportedly left Desmond, their dog, to approach, threaten, assault, and bite Morris Park resident Natara Matthias on September 5, 2015 at their townhouse on East 64th Street near Park Avenue. Desmond chomped into Matthias's right leg while she was working inside Scorsese's $12.5 million Lenox Hill mansion. Matthias claims in the Bronx Supreme Court case that she collapsed while attempting to flee the frenzied canine, injuring her neck and back. She was crippled to the point that she couldn't work for the greater part of 2 years, said Matthias attorney Greg Martello. There have been previous concerns regarding the dog. The Scorseses were well aware that Desmond was wild, unruly, violent, and possessed of a terrible temperament and disposition, with a proclivity to attack other pets and humans, according to the lawsuit. According to court documents, the Scorseses were negligent, careless, and reckless, as well as highly negligent in the ownership, operation, management, maintenance, supervision, usage, and control of the aforementioned dog. While the reportedly belligerent dog was not named in court documents, Martello described the dog as a white terrier named Desmond. Martin Scorsese will not be slugging soda and having his hands sticky with popcorn grease to watch next year's Black Widow prequel, nor will he be slugging soda and getting his hands sticky with popcorn grease to see Thor: Love and Thunder in 2021. He was also not among the millions of people that witnessed Avengers: Endgame. It's not because the legendary filmmaker would never be caught dead at a regular movie theater. It's because, in his opinion, Marvel movies aren't real movies at all. I don't think they're cinema, the filmmaker wrote in November in response to Disney's superhero blockbusters. A question concerning Marvel movies was posed to me. I stated that I had attempted to watch a couple of them and that they were not for me, that they appeared to me to be more like theme parks than movies that I had known and enjoyed throughout my life. The Film Foundation is a nonprofit organization committed to the preservation of films and the presentation of restored and vintage films. It was created in 1990 by director Martin Scorsese and numerous other prominent directors. The charity generates funding and promotes awareness for film preservation projects, as well as develops film education programs. The foundation has been described as the premier organization committed to fundraising, creating preservation awareness, and awarding grants to protect our country's cinematic legacy. It contributes to the preservation of cinema history by funding preservation efforts at film archives. Since its founding, the organization has assisted in the preservation of over 600 films. The foundation's goal is to encourage the screening of vintage films. The foundation has been associated with the Directors Guild of America since 2002, operating out of the Guild's offices in New York and Los Angeles, and sharing 2 officers who also serve on the foundation's board. The organization also develops educational initiatives such as the Story of Movies, a free multidisciplinary curriculum given to millions of students in tens of thousands of classrooms. It educates about the cultural value of cinema as well as the significance of preservation. Martin Scorsese had 5 marriages. His first marriage was to Brennan, with whom he had a daughter named Catherine. Following their divorce, he married writer Julia Cameron, who gave birth to a daughter, actress Dominica Cameron Scorsese. Their marriage only lasted a year. Martin Scorsese married actress Isabella Rossellini for the 3rd time in 1979, and the couple separated in 1983. He married producer Barbara DeFina in 1985, and they divorced in 1991. His most recent marriage was in 1999 to Helen Schermerhorn Morris. Francesca is the couple's daughter.
My family was Sicilian Americans, along with musicals, westerns, noirs at the time, although they weren't called noirs, they were just movies.
Martin Scorsese was born in Queens, New York City on November 17, 1942, to Catherine and Charles Scorsese. His parents both worked in the New York Garment District and were actors. Martin Scorsese's family relocated to Little Manhattan, where he began his education. He was a frail youngster who suffered from asthma, making it hard for him to engage in sports. Going to the movies with his mother and elder brother became a regular occurrence as a result of this. This is how the future filmmaker grew interested in movies. Powell and Pressburger's 1951 film, The Tales of Hoffmann, was his favorite at the time. The French New Wave would have a significant impact on his filmmaking. Martin Scorsese began his career with short films such as What's a Nice Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This, released in 1963, and It's Not Just You, Murray, released in 1964. In 1967, he directed The Big Shave, a film that criticized America's involvement in the Vietnam War. I Call First, retitled Who's That Knocking at My Door, was Martin Scorsese's first feature-length film, released in 1967. Through his friendship with Brian De Palma, he was introduced to producer and filmmaker Robert De Niro, and he subsequently became acquainted with actor-director John Cassavetes. He will appear in numerous films alongside Robert De Niro. In 1970, Scorsese worked as an assistant director and editor on the documentary Woodstock. Following the success of Taxi Driver, Scorsese embarked on the big-budget musical New York, New York, which starred Liza Minnelli. Scorsese became depressed and hooked to cocaine when the picture failed to live up to expectations. Martin Scorsese was able to return to filmmaking with the aid of Robert De Niro for the critically acclaimed picture Raging Bull. The film got 8 Academy Award nominations and was ranked number 1 on the American Film Institute's list of the best 10 sports films. Due to its blasphemous character, he released the controversial film The Last Temptation of Christ in 1988, causing outrage among religious groups. He began working with actor Leonardo DiCaprio on many films, including The Aviator, which received 5 Oscars out of 11 nominations in various categories in 2004. Other collaborations with Leonardo DiCaprio include The Departed, which received critical praise and earned him his 2nd Golden Globe for Best Director, as well as an Academy Award for Best Director. Thelma Schoonmaker's Best Film Editing, Best Motion Picture of 2006, and Best Adapted Screenplay were also awarded to the film. Daily Variety, released in 2010, became Scorsese's highest-grossing picture.
It's always important. You can make a film on a camera the size of that doorknob and still show it to 1,600 people in an audience. It's still a great communal experience.
Martin Scorsese has been one of the most successful and highly paid filmmakers and earned millions with most of his work. His net worth is $100 million. The legendary filmmaker purchased this 6,640 square foot Manhattan townhome in 2007 for $12.5 million. Martin Scorsese owns several cars, a Hudson Hornet, a Chevrolet Impala convertible, a Ford Mustang convertible, and a Chrysler Imperial.